I'm running for election for a couple of reasons, a re-election, because I believe I did exactly what I said I was going to do. And I've also brought, working with my colleagues and other levels of government and the partnerships, an incredible amount of new infrastructure and facilities to Bedford. We did open the BMO 4-pad arena, and that was built after many, many years of discussion on council and in community groups and in the private sector on how, and report after report, on how we were 3 to 5 rinks short in HRM of what we needed in our inventory, and that Bedford, because of its growth and its projected growth, would be a good place to locate it. So we built the 4-pad arena here. It's been well used. It operates at about the cost of 2.5 rinks because they have a shared ice plant and 2 Zambonis instead of 4, and all the sort of overhead of not having 4 individual rinks. Great parking. It's LEED silver equivalent, so it's the heat, for example, that's used to make the ice is used to heat the building. I really get excited about it when I go there and I see ringette being played, girls hockey, adult hockey, the Bedford Blues, of course, are there, and I see people using it as a social hub while their kids play. So I'm very proud of how that project came on board for Bedford and HRM residents. Well, another accomplishment that we achieved in Bedford over the last 4 years, and that was several levels of government working together. It was the province, it was the school board, it was HRM, and it was the residents. We came together and said, okay, we are getting a new high school. If you attach a community center to a high school, you save a lot of money on ground preparation. You can have a shared wall, you can have a shared field, etc. So, for the first time since the LeBrun Center was built in 1973, I believe, we are actually getting a new community center in Bedford. It's all age. It's multi-purpose. It will have washrooms that are accessible from the outside, so we'll be able to have people using the field and not having to use porta potties or go in the woods. So we will have this community center attached to the new high school with 2 gymnasiums, food preparation facilities, arts and crafts rooms, meeting facilities, a cafetorium for the performing arts, and of course access to the artificial turf field, which will be a full-size football field, or you can have 2 soccer games going simultaneously. What I heard from a number of residents and parents and people who just like swimming on that beautiful pool and that beautiful waterfront was that it was time for some upgrading of that pool, and HRM staff actually worked with the federal government to raise some of the money as well, and we put in new walkways, new lighting, new fencing. The mechanicals are all new, the wading pool was expanded, and there's even the little blowers there now the kids like to play in, and the sprinklers around the pool that sprinkle water on them. So it's been a huge improvement over the old pool and still in that beautiful location. My long-term vision is I'd like us to change the actual clubhouse itself, the changing rooms, the washrooms, and perhaps put some kind of a dome or glass roof or something over it so we could extend the season. But in the meantime, at least we have made significant improvements to this very popular pool. I was really excited to get involved with the temporary skateboard park because it was actually came from kids. It came out of the kids who wanted it, including some kids in my own neighborhood. And they came together and they said, this is what we want in Bedford, and we'll have fundraise for it. And they did. They sold things and they did incredible job, and they raised about $5,000. Now, a good skateboard park costs probably $250,000 to $300,000. So what we decided to do was test the market in Bedford for a skateboard park by building a temporary one in Range Park. That was built for a cost of about $30,000, and about 2/3 of that cost I was pleased to contribute to through my district capital fund. I also helped with the benches that are now on site. So it's a great start. It's not big enough for long-term needs, but for about a 3 to 5 year period we wanted to test the market, and we also wanted to give the kids something to do. And perhaps most importantly, what we didn't want them to do was to lose interest. And when you fundraise for 3, 4, 5, 7 years for something that's that expensive, you know, the youngsters will lose interest. So what I did with the parents and the kids, we had this discussion, why don't we take your $5,000 that you've raised, put it into the temporary park, and you can start enjoying it now instead of waiting for down the road when perhaps you may not be living here, your interests have changed, etc. The permanent washroom in DeWolf Park was really a prime example of collaboration and groups working together. You had the Waterfront Development Corporation, you had the DeWolf Memorial Trust, the DeWolf Family Trust, and of course my own community funds and some money from HRM. And what we did is we came together and we built this permanent washroom that will be year-round. It's beautiful. Some call it the outhouse, outhouse, and some call it the loo with a view. So we've had great fun with that. And it will also have on it a mural that's being painted by a Bedford artist to celebrate the history of Bedford and also to deter graffiti on it. DeWolf Park is, it's actually starting to get a little small, so we have to be careful, but I do envision the outdoor gym being there. So the idea being that adults perhaps could work out and have some fun while the kids are playing on the playground. There's a great playground there, and of course the washroom facility is there now. A gorgeous view, and so this is the vision I'm hearing from a number of residents is could we do an outdoor gym there. I was going to do it this year. It's in the budget, in my district budget, but we've been working on some maintenance issues and warranty issues, and once those are resolved, I think residents can expect to see an outdoor gym there with perhaps next summer. We have been very fortunate that we have had all the new facilities in the last 4 years that I've mentioned, but we still have a need for additional facilities and infrastructure. And again, this can't happen all at once. It's going to take partnerships with other levels of government, with the private sector, etc. But we do need a new library. We have a wonderful library with a wonderful staff. My girls have been going for years, and my wife used to be a Bay Street librarian, so we're big on libraries. But it is getting too small for our future needs as we continue to grow. So what I'm hearing from residents, and what I believe as well, is that we do need a new library, and perhaps that could be along the Bedford Highway in a more central location. Perhaps it could be on the new waterfront as part of an auditorium, theater complex, perhaps a terminal for rail or ferry. But this could become a hub, and libraries have become a hub. As we see at the Keshe Goodman, as we see in Sackville, as we see downtown, they've become a gathering place for people of all ages, and to have it centrally located in a fun and cool place, if you will, with a little bit more space for all the new technology required in the 21st century libraries, I think is something we need to work on over the next couple of years.